So as we've been doing this show, Pete Thamel got on the Twitter machine and updated us on the ACC expansion story that will not die. Joe, are you okay over there? You got to sneeze? Oh, boy. It's not even allergy season yet. Good?
Better now.
Back at it. So Pete Thamel says, after a weekend of conversations, there's continued momentum toward the ACC adding Stanford, Cal, and SMU. ACC officials are working on gathering the president's chancellors on a call, which is expected to take place at some point earlier this week. Thamel continues, sources caution that nothing is finalized and the details are only in pencil as of now. Expect a decision either way this week. Officials are still working specifically on how to divide the pool of money that would be split up amongst the ACC members after the three schools join. That amount is expected to be between $50 and $60 million annually. Some of that will be distributed to all members, and the rest would be put into a pool for success initiatives. So long story short, not a lot has changed in terms of the dynamics for the ACC and the expansion of Cal, Stanford, and SMU. That those three schools are willing to take less money, or in the case of SMU, no money, and put that in a pool and see how it gets distributed. We know that Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, and NC State voted no the first go round. So I'd like to know which one of the four or multiples have now decided, after doing back of the napkin math, pencil math with these financial initiatives, that's going to get them to flip.
One of my sources says it's Clemson.
Okay.
And in the sense that, and it does make some sense that it would be Clemson, because if you're talking about adding incentive-based rewards, well, which football program is most likely to cash in on those football-based rewards?
Clemson, the team that's running hot right now.
The one that's won 7 of the last 8 league titles.
It's why I've always found it funny that Florida State is pushing and pushing and pushing. Like, we need more money. Yes, it's all based on success. Here's our calculations. Mike, last time I checked, guys, you really haven't been running hot right now. So you want Wake Forest to get the money?
They should just put Navy in the league, because remember, Navy played Notre Dame in national TV, and I'm sure all of those viewers were tuning in for Navy. It's not Notre Dame.
Totally what it is. I mean, I can see it from Clemson's
point
of view.
I'm so tired of all of this, by the way. Like, here we are on whatever day it is, and it's like, it's embarrassing. Stanford and Cal add nothing. Yeah. SMU adds less than nothing. This is embarrassing. I mean, do what you're going to do for the sake of money. Just come out and say it then. And I don't know why they all hesitate. And please don't give me how great of an academic institutions they all are.
But please, that's the line.
Spare me.
That's the line they keep. That's the line they keep using. That we can't leave Stanford and Cal behind. This is such great academic institutions.
This is embarrassing for the ACC. It's embarrassing for SMU to be like, I'll just come for free.
Yeah.
Like, and then Stanford and Cal, you cool. Cal, you're the worst run football program in all of Power 5. Great. You don't deserve a life raft. Stanford, have a little bit of pride and do what Notre Dame is doing.
Yeah.
Be independent in football. You want to join the West Coast Conference, and don't kill your athletic programs. Like, why do you think playing in the ACC is going to help your volleyball team? You already have the best athletic program in all of college sports. Like, you don't need to come and play Pitt. You don't need to come and play Wake Forest.
Now, the argument that I've gotten from email and through social media is that, well, this is about, kind of setting yourself up for whatever it is that happens next.
Sure.
Well, if that's the case,
you don't have to do that, because you have a grant of rights and a deal with ESPN that goes through 36.
You do. But let's say 2030 is when the next, as I've been pinpointing, 2030 is the next round of conference realignment, the big one, if you will, where we could see the college football playing schools, the elite level schools, break off and do their own thing. Because I think you and I are both in agreement that that's where this is headed.
Yeah.
That we're getting a super league, and that people will go back to a much more regional-based scheduling for their other sports, as it should be. I know you've been on that for a long time. I think we're finally seeing that light at the end of this ridiculous tunnel that we're in. But if it's about setting yourself up for the future so that when you deal with contraction, you've got schools that are more like-minded with you, this goes from embarrassing for Stanford and Cal. No, but hear me out here.
Yeah.
This goes from embarrassing Stanford and Cal and SMU for lowering themselves to do this, to join a conference, and back to being embarrassing for the ACC. You got to think 3 steps ahead. for as much shit as John Swofford got as commissioner of the ACC, Swofford knew where things were going. You might not have agreed with his overall execution and who he added, but he knew where things were going. So he positioned the ACC in a spot that could survive. And being third place was okay. That was ultimately the goal. And also chasing the things that were valuable at the time, TV homes and everything else. But ultimately it was, we are not going to be eaten. We are going to do the eating. And this is where the presidents, because I don't put this on Jim Phillips.
No,
I put, because he literally just got there. This is on presidents who have had TV backgrounds coming in and helping make decisions. And I think they've been too focused.
Syracuse.
Hi, Syracuse. I think they've been too focused in trying to take control away from old school ACC rather than looking at the big picture. Excuse me as I hit my microphone here. Looking at the big picture, which is we need to put ourselves in a position to survive the next round of upheaval and disruption.
I'm just glad I'm not there to punch somebody in the face who says, well, we're going to go to SMU. That's going to put us in the Dallas market. Did you learn nothing? Did you learn nothing? We're going to be in California because we're going to get into the San Francisco market.
It's brutal, man.
Did you learn nothing?
It's
obviously you learned nothing, and all you care about is money. By the way, for the record, if you're going to add random teams for the sake of adding random teams, add ECU and App State.
At this point, yes. Okay? At this point, yes. But those are not fine institutions, Joe. They're not fine academic institutions. We can't, like Jack Swarbrick was telling Dan Patrick last week.
We can't
leave Stanford behind.
You keep saying contraction. If Stanford and Cal don't die, no one's dying.
Yeah, it's a fair point.